Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another episode of the Questable Perspective Podcast. I'm your host, FGC Chris, here with my co-host, Mr. phdjeshua. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Doing good. We got some interesting topics for you guys tonight. We're gonna get a little bit more of a serious topic out of the way first before we go into something a little more lighthearted. And if you don't, well, if you're not in the FGC, you probably haven't heard too much about this player. His name is Haxx. Uh, he recently passed away, and a lot of people that were the main cause of him not being able to enjoy the game that he loves, Smash Melee, are basically trying to run and hide. And we as content creators need to stand up and say, no, you're not going to be able to hide what you did to this man for the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, they basically just tormented him, and God, it's just ridiculous. There's similar cases within the FGC of things like this, but not everybody has strong wills. But we'll kind of hop right into it. Mr. Haxx has talked to a gentleman known by the name of Mr. Technical. Some of y'all might know who this is. Some of you may not. He's done several different videos on here. We'll take a look at his YouTube page real fast. He's done several different ones on from we'll say infiltration to Brown, exposing other people within we'll say minor communities within the FGC and
The
such.
Strive community, Leffen.
I mean, you name it, it's there. I mean, he's gone
Uh,
over the Mike Z situation. There's just so much. This man is covered, and he does his research. To be fair, so whether you like him or hate him, he does do his due diligence. But go ahead. So, what were you saying, Mr. Chris?
no, I've thoroughly enjoyed his content. Like just him basically exposing a lot of things within the scene itself that a lot of the higher ups in the scene don't really want to talk about, or they try to basically screw it under the rug and try to move forward. And I kind of understand it because they're trying to push this whole thing towards esports. And ever since that whole thing of esports has come in, it's basically been like, okay, anybody that could possibly be even perceived as an issue, they got to go. And it's starting to catch a lot of people, good and innocent ones, bad ones as well. But the ones that are basically suffering a lot more for it are the people that basically are, oh, you get banned for, we'll ban you for a year, but then we turn around and make some arbitrary reason why you can't come back to the scene. It's happened with Infiltration, who has, how many years has it been? About what, 3-4 years? No, longer than that, I believe, since he's been able to compete.
About 4 or 5, give or take. You got Filipino champ.
Yeah, who, even though he kind of is making a little bit of a comeback, I think he's still banned
I think he's banned.
from
I know
tournament
he's
play.
banned from the CPT, along with like infiltration, some others. I don't. I think. Well, the thing with infiltration, there's kind of a dual sword of that situation. For those that don't know, infiltration back around 2017, Infinite, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was coming out. He was one of the test folks, so he had a test build, sort of an alpha build, if you will. And on stream, he did show off some unreleased uh, assets that should not have been shown. He was given this within like an NDA and everything in confidence never to show this stuff. But he did do it on stream, so that's
Yeah.
the real reason I think he was banned. And the joke was the whole thing about using the N word and all that was just like, we'll just use this as the excuse to do it. But
Those NDAs are no joke.
yeah, don't show off. If you're interested to do something, NDAs are only good for so much. But if you decide to break them, um, depending on what you're doing, there may be repercussions. But
And I do know that for sure because I am under one.
oh, for what?
Basically, stuff that happened with my daughter, her accident
Oh,
when we made our settlement with the school system and the bus company.
oh,
Like
okay. Say no
we
more.
we had to sign NDAs when we settled.
Yeah, well, they do that in a lot of things. Like, you did something to such and such person, settle out of court, signed, blah blah blah. We won't get into that. But yes, Mr. Technicals was kind enough to now for those that don't know, Hax's funeral was what, last month or
Hmm. I think it was earlier this month, wasn't it?
yeah, earlier this month. Now
Hmm.
Mr. Haxx goes through Mr. Technical does a whole video on Haxx, the funeral, who show up, and all this. This is a 2-hour video. It's almost a 3-hour video. I had to pace it because I wanted to punch a hole in the wall a couple of times because I didn't know this. But we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. But apparently, I'm trying to be as YouTube compliant as I can be with here. But apparently, Mr. Haxx did try to take his life at one point before this happened. He
Hmm.
jumped in front of a train in New York, lost his leg, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well." There was some stuff in this video I didn't know about. So now this is Technicals does like show a lot of name drops. Basically, these are public figures you can find, and if they haven't deleted their stuff or that have, for some weird reason, and I'll never understand this. So I swear, because basically the reason Haxx was banned from a lot of tournaments was because he made a video on Leffen for whatever, mind you, for the mature audience. They you for the mature people, basically, you wouldn't take anything else with this, but he made a video about Leffen being doing some comparisons to Hitler. Not like that he's like he's a Nazi or whatever. No, it's more like some like quotes or whatever. I was like, okay, this is like one of those things. It's like you take him to the side, you ban him for like a month. Don't do this again, please. And then you go about your day in life. But somehow, and Leffen, I don't know how he does this. Every time something happens with Haxx throughout the years, he makes himself out to be the victim, and people go with it. And you just I'm flabbergasted. I'm like, how does he twist this into his favor every time? I'm okay. I need a soundtrack. Anyways, it's just crazy.
But at that point, when he jumped in front of the train and stuff and almost killed himself and lost his leg, at some points you have to kind of look. Okay, maybe we've banned him too long. Maybe we need to go. Maybe we just need to reevaluate this.
Now, some would say it's just a game, move on. But for some people, like for those that don't know, Haxx had his own tournament series, the nightclub. He
He had his own.
built,
He built his own controller.
yeah, he's had surgeries on his hands to continue playing this game. Shout outs to the people that can play Smash Melee. I don't want carpal tunnel to destroy my wrists. So I play on a controller, so that has its own like minor issues, but this man went out of his way and built the box. And somehow, along with his tournament, this got taken from him. So you can see why this man took his own life. I mean, this man was played Smash Melee since he was like 12. This man's been playing tournaments, and he was like one of the best players. The man was the reason Fox was such a predominant character in the Melee scene. And I mean, he's impressive. There's no doubt. But the fact that a man that has dedicated his time and effort, and I've seen this happen within the FGC as well, but that was a longer burn. This is more of a short burn. That just people took what this man loved, used it against him. And I will never understand why these people are like this. This man never really did anything like, hey, don't make this video again. Go about your day. And I don't know. I just had a lot of words for this.
You know, it's one of those things that people don't really think about it until it happened, until he basically took his own life. Now everybody's all up in arms about it, but I'm like, okay, where were y'all back when all this stuff was going on?
Well,
And like the fact that they took his nightclub, they took his tournament series from him, and then on top of that, you basically forced him out of his own controller business to make it your own. When he should be the main person, especially now his mother should be the one benefiting from his design and what he built, not other people.
yet here we are. We have a mother that has lost her only other family member. And oh boy, this is something definitely that's kind of in, I think technical goes over in his video, and I'll highly recommend watching it. I'll put it in the description below. We'll go on a little bit further. He did have to edit it. We'll explain why. The other one in a couple of other posts will show, but Technicals really has done his research. But I will tell you this: hell has no fury like a woman scorn or mother scorn. And as soon as Haxx was reported to have passed away, Leffen went private on his account. And from what I've seen, Haxx's mom is basically trying to get Leffen banned from Saudi Arabia, at least. So there's no playing in the Esports World Cup for him if this happens. I don't know if this will happen, but from everything I've looked and just read at throughout this little debacle from like the past 2 months, man,
And she seems to be basically going in the U.S. side of things, basically going a legal route against some of the TOs and people that had their son banned.
Yeah, that's all I can say is Godspeed in the legal system in this. I don't know, because I've only ever dealt with like within the realm of like copyright shenanigans to deal with and try to understand. This is definitely something I have no idea. I will have to, actually, this reminds me, I meant to ask a lawyer about this type of situation. How does someone handle such a situation? Because this is such a gray area for me to see. Damn. And we definitely want to. I might send this to Legal Mindset or the little elf lawyer I know. See what they might say. But for those that don't know, this video was, the full YouTube video was posted on May 15th. Same day, not even within, we'll say, what, less than 24 hours, 48 hours, Mr. Chris?
Mm-hmm. About 48 hours.
he receives a violation, and they mass flagged this, and he didn't even get a chance to appeal to this, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Basically implying he broke. Let's see. Receiving this notice does not imply a violation of YouTube privacy guidelines. No action has been taken against your account, but it's basically reported content of X right here. We will go to this post here. Let me make sure. Okay. And basically, it was all these weird timestamps, and this is just like people's names. Like these are out in the wild. He's not doxing anybody. Not what we know is doxing.
I
Not
think it
like
was more so that he was divulging like private messages and stuff like that. I think that's what they got him on.
maybe, but also these are out in the wild too. So, but still, I'll he edited it and all that, and we'll have that. I will try to find a archived version of the original. There's just got so many uploads of it, but I definitely would say check out the original if you can. But if not, we'll have the original his edited video in the description as well for those that may care. But I mean, they basically it was mass flagging for false privacy complaints. Is what they're saying. All right, so but
Mm,
I don't know, man.
And basically, a lot of the TOs and stuff that basically signed off on Haxx being banned are very conveniently radio silent or trying to basically remove their names off the Smash ban global ban list, and basically trying to hide any involvement they had within this whole Haxx thing.
In this video, there were a couple of people when he was still alive during this month. They were screwing with him so much. I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. It's like, how cruel are you people? Like, literally, some of these people that have tortured him, just stringing him along for like this long, it's like, where does it stop? And I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling here too much, but anyways,
And like I said, the only one I really have anything like outside of his mother and stuff like that, the only one I really have sympathy for is Hungry Box, because he's the only one that was actually seemed like he actually cared. Him and Technicals and a couple other people, the ones that only seemed like they cared about trying to get him back in the community. 'Cause I believe at the time when he passed away, I believe Hungry Box was actually flying out there to see him, to visit
yeah,
with him.
yeah. I think Mewtwo King went to his funeral. I think I'll have to double check.
Yeah, he did.
Mewtwo. I don't think him and Mewtwo King had any issues, to my
Uh,
knowledge.
not that I know of.
But
I think Technicals and Mewtwo had like little issue, but I think they've kind of squashed that whole thing, because I think right now they're actually going after him now.
yeah, they're they're going after Mewtwo King now. They're gonna go. I think they might try to go after Hungry Box too. We'll see. But and so by the way, there was a mass purge on the Smash Reddit. If you've ever been to Reddit, God bless your soul. I'm sorry. I barely go to Reddit. Thank God. I deal with enough social media aspects. But apparently, one of the moderators, this guy's purging a lot of his accounts. And let's just take a look at what he's purged. Let's see. Been removed and restricted by YouTube. It's actually gone. Need a screenshot of the email notification I could post. With abundance of caution, I won't. Wonder why. I'm not going to go through too much. But, I mean, I should probably go back and look under some of these, but I'd rather not. There might be something that might not be too YouTube friendly. This is pushing it.
I'm just saying, when can we get back to just playing the game?
Yes, that thing. I don't know. I've tried just. I mean, we technically can do it locally. It seems to be only at a local level. But if you go to a major tournament or something, man, there's some
And depending
bald
on what
headed.
local area you in, cause even at some of the locals, they kind of wasn't they
Go,
very much push you away, depending on what state you're in.
yeah, man. If I went somewhere, I saw a bald dude in a dress, and I said "sir" instead of "ma'am," man, I'm sure some people ain't gonna like that joke, but I mean, come on. There's some people I've seen that claim to be something. I'm like, I don't think you are that.
Like we have people in our own scene that's like that, but nobody really thinks about it because it's not really a point of contention.
They never really brought it up. One person I'd say I'm friend with, at least throughout the years. I don't see him as often anymore. I think I've seen them attend our events here and there. And I've never had any issue with them at all. And I've always asked, like, do you prefer this name or that name? And they never, they said it's fine. It was okay. And
Okay, that's more my standpoint. Like, if you want to be called this, whatever. If you want to be called Lisa, cool, whatever. We just here to play the game, and let's just have fun and just enjoy playing the game that we all like.
but now it's gotten to such a point. Now it's like I didn't want to talk about this, but I feel it's a fair point because Guilty Gear seems to have this issue. I don't know what it is with Guilty Gear because Leffen's in there as well. But if you
Or
remember,
you had to be distinction. You had to make a distinction. There's Guilty Gear and then there's Strive.
the Strive community, I guess we're going to say. I don't know what it is within the Strive community. You know, the player Umi show,
Mm-hmm.
they won Combo Breaker at, what was it, last
Yeah,
weekend?
yeah. That
And
was, I think, the first time she's played since the whole troll game thing. That's been what, about at least a couple of months.
yeah, accusing someone of sexual assault of all things, which um was all false. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, this is an egregious affront. Someone. I always hate using the word community with this type of. All right, but you accuse another attendee of tournaments and such of such a horrendous act, and you have the gall to sit there and troll at people and all that. Is like, no, you should be banned, barred from tournaments forever, period. Because you've implied that this person has done something so egregious that it, regardless of the information is being false or whatnot, that can ruin their life, period. No matter what. Like, it's like if I call Chris and a damn murderer or something, and then people make speculations and all that. Well, simple one. I almost said something I probably shouldn't have said, but oh God,
It's because people don't seem to want to just leave their personal hangups and stuff at the door and just come in and play. Now it's like, when this person believes in this and don't believe in that, I feel like I'm unsafe here. And the community has tried to make people feel safe by excluding certain people from the scene that may not think a certain type of way.
and
And it's
within
starting to come back and backfire.
it's within the Smash scene. Looking at their what do they call it? The council, behavioral safety
Oh,
council.
the safety council
There's
of
like
unelected players and people and stuff like.
400, 500 people banned for it's that might it's from like illegitimate to like legitimate reasons. I don't know. It's so baffling.
Mm.
I've never like in my life of like doing event organization seen something like this before. Or let me rephrase it. Turn into such a debacle because as soon as Haxx passed away, all hell broke loose. Like the great chasm or some apocalyptic cataclysm has happened to
Like,
the Smash scene.
because when he passed away, it put such a spotlight on the Smash scene. It was even trending on X Like even just other FGC communities knew what was going on. That's how far it reached. To where a lot of people outside of scene, like the Street Fighter, the Tekken scene, the Mortal Kombat scene, the Guilty Gear scene, kind of just everybody's kind of turning their eye towards them and like what's going on over here?
It's just like I
And it's crazy though, cause it's like y'all do realize like if Nintendo got word of this, they could come in and just shut down all of Smash.
Nintendo should at this point. Like honestly, I've never like I don't want stuff to be advocated for such a manner, but I'm like when you've got like pedophiles coming out left and right, or someone doing something, or you've caused someone to lose their life. Hell, and the damn strive scene that some kid said the N word. I was like, oh god, edgy teenagers. Weren't we all so edgy 20 years ago? Yes, I'm. Some people like, oh, you can't be like that. It's like, listen, we're all teenagers. They're gonna say something stupid. We're all stupid at that age. God knows.
Yeah, cause I think I remember that one. I'm like, it really wasn't that big a deal, but the community kind of just blew it up into this big hullabaloo.
Pretty much, the kid almost took his life. The online aspect of a community has been such a detriment to some people.
And it's just like it's the vocal minority of people who just raising such a firestorm about stuff that's really not even that big a deal.
Yet they're the ones in power or in
You don't
charge.
feel safe going to a tournament that you were never going to go to in the first place.
And okay, now let's point at this real fast. So this post is today. I apparently this is information of yesterday. No, I don't follow this account. I try to keep up with this as best as I can. But we found this, so this might be very interesting for those that care. Yesterday, the creator of Melee.tv and Project M Monitor, David Campbell, he announced his retirement from the Smash community. I wonder why. Reception on Twitter/X was overwhelmingly positive. However, on Reddit is a different story. Immediately, David was told he shouldn't be posting about his retirement because it wouldn't spark any new discussion, that he wasn't part of the community because he didn't attend enough tournaments. Okay, you're a part of something. You only like make it like once a month. I mean, life happens outside of this stuff, anyways. Then the prominent community figure and commentator. I am sorry if I butcher this. We'll say a Hoach here chimed in and reportedly reminded his fellow Redditors that David was associated with technicals and appeared in his recent video regarding Haxx. Stabutcher, I don't care if I destroy this name, then claimed that David was complicit in creating a culture that pushes for harassment of Smash TOs and volunteers. I was like, well, some of these volunteers and TOs were jackasses. Anyways, at this point, people started attacking David for his religious and personal beliefs. He was called a radical Christian and a right-wing nutjob. Boy, where have we seen this before? Let's go back about almost 8-9 years ago. Anyways, and ultimately,
Anybody to the right of Mile.
you're slightly right. You were fully right. You are far right wing. You are Nazi. You are the scum of the earth. We hate you. Type stuff. This is ridiculous. Anyways,
When did it get to a point where you just can't? Well, we could just have disagreements, but that's where it ended at.
I'm going to be fully honest with you. There's been a shift within the American culture for the past 20 years that I've noticed, and I'll pinpoint the it's 20 years. Let's see. I'll say there's a major shift. I'm going to say I started noticing around 2014, 2015. But I don't want to get too much into that because that really dives into a bunch of political stuff. I don't want that pertains too much to our subject of the moment. But there's yes, this is within this thing, but we're trying not to stay on the hack subject here. So, anyways, I'm rambling. And finally, David was accused of finning. Okay, hang on. And ultimately accused of hating trans people and believing that gay people shouldn't have rights. A lot of speculations and such. It seems to be from these redditors. Finally, David was accused of feigning sincerity regarding his retirement. Did I say that right? Feigning? Is that how you say that?
That might be how you pronounce it.
Forgive me if I. Forgive me for not. It's not a normal word in my vocabulary, so I'll have to start using it a bit more, I guess. His retirement in order to Haxx post one last time on his way out of the community based on his statements on how Haxx ban should have been handled better. The thread was eventually locked by moderators. Some comments were removed, then reopened temporarily before getting locked again. There are actually too many disgusting comments for me to even catalog them all. You can check out the post yourself if you're interested. I will probably link some of this down below for those that may be interested in this. All right, get off the screen. All right. My apologies for some of that might find some of this offensive, but here we go. Let's see here. I'm not super relevant to everyone here, but that's okay for those who might not, who might still. I'm leaving Smash Brothers community due to the hack situation. I'm not going to read too much all of this. And here we go. Don't care. Good riddance. I hope you fail in all your future endeavors. Oh boy, that's cool, man. The need for attention is sad. Okay, thumbs up. Let's see. I understand leaving, but I don't understand making it public. If you don't have any intent of stirring discussion, why should it matter to you that people know that you're leaving and the other than your own ego? Melee.tv already had a notice saying it was no longer being maintained. I understand the amount of closure, but this sort of reads like every retire post ever. This isn't an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. As much as I like that comment, I find that always annoying too. It sounds like this dude got sick of being called out for his shitty views, so I don't really care what people think here. Now y'all see why I don't deal with Reddit, and I doubt you deal with Reddit at all, Mr. Chris.
No, not at all. Only time I go to Reddit if I want to just Google takes me there to answer a question.
That's about it. Oh boy, we're about to dive into some really nasty ones. Apparently, I am well familiar with his PM work as someone from his city and PM player for half of my life. Even beyond the political stuff, the WA and PMC really does not like him due to how he treated an important modder from our scene who actually went to events and the development of Legacy. He's seeking attention with this post and virtue signaling. He sides with Technical's crowd despite never going going to in-person events, gives credence to how Technical's crowd never actually goes to tournaments. I think Technicals did go to some tournaments and such. Anyways, he made cool shit, sure, but he never went to anything. He wants to spout his opinion about how shitty the scene is and now and get some pat on the back on his way out. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, okay. See, I don't know how many times I've heard stuff like this type. I'm just like these. When I say these people, there's a certain mindset that just goes with these people. It's like they're pre-programmed to say this crap. It drives me nuts.
They all got their download.
They need a patch and an update be installed. Let's see. Hi, Pokin. I've gone to in-person events. I was mostly a. Let's see. I was mostly recently at Don't Park on the Grass last year. I've been to several other majors and dozens of weeklies in the past 12 years or so. Even if I've never been at an event in person, what does it matter? Plenty of people contribute to the scene without actually showing up to events, like content creators or folks that build tools for the scene. My intention of this post is just to communicate the facts. People regularly reach out to me with this stuff, and I wanted it to be clear. To be fair, you didn't have to mention Haxx thing. That kind of soils the intention of the post. Yeah, it wasn't necessary. The problem is that if you don't participate in the in-person community, you can't have an informed opinion of the in-person community. Dozens of weeklies in the past 12 years or so. You want to be taken seriously on a scene you interact with as often as you do your dentist. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here because this is mind numbing. I'm like, are we gonna sit here and like berate people because some people don't have the chance to go to locals. That their only thing is online. You're blessed to have a local scene at times, but the fact that people have gone out of their way to like make what was it, the Slippy mod for Melee and everything to make Melee online playable and everything, balance adjustments to Melee. It's just an example. And the fact that some of these people have the audacity to tell people this is beyond. It's like, damn, you hate them that much? It's like, guess what? That tool you're using, suddenly gets pulled and everything. That was a very important tool now, wasn't it? I'm not sure what Melee.tv was for these folks, so, but I assume it was something very important. Excuse me.
I'm just at the point in time I'm starting to understand why the larger FGC community kind of excommunicates the Melee scene.
Well, it's just smashing in general almost. It's like here are like the three major factions. We'll say of like the overarching FGC, and you either may agree or not agree, Mr. Chris. There are the fighting. There's the fighting games, like Capcom, SNK stuff, and all these other fighters. The anime fighters are all under their own roof. Then there's the NRS scene. Then there's the Smash scene. That just seems like how it seems to be divided. What I've seen over the years.
I would agree. But Smash has kind of always been one of those games that, yeah, it's at majors and people play it at tournaments, but they just like, they kind of like keep them at arm's length.
They just do their own stuff. They're in their own corner. All right, I'm not going to read any more of this because this is going to annoy and make me want to break a window or something.
And it's kind of, it might have been a blessing in disguise that Nintendo didn't come in with Panda Global. Because if this would have happened, if they did happen and they was actually involved with the Smash scene when this went down, I think this probably would have been almost the end for that series or a lot of tournaments.
They spoiled that on that. They legitimately spoiled that situation for themselves. I can't remember all the details, but I'm like, if Panda Global would have had that, Smash would have been, I think, set for life almost. I'm being dead serious.
Oh no, they would have been set up.
Because a direct line to Nintendo is something they would have, that community desperately needs. But apparently it's not going to happen now. Or not happen now. And Nintendo.
I think because doesn't Nintendo, they still kind of like don't really, they kind of begrudgingly let them run their tournaments.
For now. For now. But I got a feeling this is going to get to the point that it's like Nintendo is going to step in. Like, Nintendo really should step in and just shut all that stuff down. I don't normally advocate for stuff like that, but I'm like, seeing how all of this has been handled and everything is just doesn't make any sense to me. Then again, some of these people are terminally online. They need help. Like, some of these people is like, oh, well, I believe in God and this. Oh, you hate gay people. Are you serious? It's like, bro, we were just at a tournament last week together. What the hell? What is this turncoat mentality?
It's been like that ever since 2016, since a certain person won the presidency, and people lost their mind.
You ain't lying. Like, I get we cannot agree on stuff. It doesn't mean you. I'm like, if you think I hate everybody based on someone I may have elected into a position, I think I believe they'll do the good job that is necessary. That, I think that says more about you than me, because what was it?
I'm about to say, let's not go down because we're getting too far into politics.
Well, I'll just tell this little quick story. There was a guy within our community. I voted for a certain person. I'd never had any ill will towards this guy, but apparently I was the devil and the devil. They came and apologized to me. I know. I was like, "This nothing to worry about, man. It is what it is." And they said I didn't deserve this kind of hate. Come around last year, they started getting real testy about this stuff, and I'm like, I'm just going to keep my peace. I have no ill will towards people on this subject, unless you're just being very ignorant on certain subjects or current events. I can't say anything else, because we want to keep this as political free as possible. But anyways,
Yeah. And for one thing, people need to stop living online and stop thinking that the president controls every facet of your life. Your governor, your mayors, your local politicians are the ones who actually affect you more on a daily basis than the president ever does.
yeah, definitely pay attention to what's going on in your local area. All right. Would you say we're done with this, or do you want to continue?
No, I'm pretty much done with it. I hope that if she is going through legal action, that she gets everything she deserves out of it. And I hope the Smash scene kind of kicks a lot of these people out and just starts all over again with new TOs if they have to, new tournaments if they have to. Just the only way you're going to affect change is by taking away their power, and taking away their power, not going to their events, not spending money with them, and just basically doing your own thing and building your own tournaments up.
Yeah, basically, you're gonna start from the top below, go down. There's a dead tree in my roommate's yard. I'm gonna get rid of. There are two ways to get rid of it. I could chop it down all at once, or I could do it in bits. I'm gonna start from the top, go down. That's the best way to do it. All right. Now on to a more lighthearted matter, because I'm sure everybody loves Crunchyroll. I hope everybody hears the sarcasm in my voice on that. They did the Anime Awards. Woo! I should say boo, but
Some stuff won that should have won that I thought was actually, that's fine. It won. Like, to me, Ninja Kamui winning Best Original Anime, that's fine, because that actually was a good original anime.
yes. Solo leveling
Out
is
of it,
nice.
yeah, that's what a lot of people are having a issue with when it comes to solo leveling. Now, Mr. Jeshua will tell you, I am a solo leveler glazer.
I'm not saying you're a glazer, but you have talked about it to me a lot. Then again, I've talked to you a lot about Freerin at one point. So you could accuse me of being a Freerin glazer. So would be fair.
Like I do like Solo Leveling. I think it's a good anime, but when you put it in the same category as Free Ren, and you have those two going head to head with each other, I'm like, Free Ren to me personally is a country mile ahead of Solo Leveling when it comes to like story, character development, just overall, just the way the story is just built in that thing. It makes you feel emotions when you're watching it.
The
Like
pacing's
I said,
good. Pacing for the fights are good.
it's one of those things that's starting to really irk me when it comes to like newer anime fans. And I know people might not like what I'm gonna say
Oh no, the old man's
via the
showing his
comment.
age now.
It's more so with stuff like Solo Leveling and some other like the I think it's a Chinese anime. I'm thinking
Solo
I'm not 100%,
leveling.
but I think it is Chinese.
No, solo leveling is Korean. It's manhwa.
Yeah, is the vast majority of those shows are just like the story is very very light. Like if you, it's like paper thin, but the action in it is amazing. And when you really think about people talk about Solo Leveling, they don't talk about the story. They just talk about the fight scenes. Like that's really when you ask anybody who says they like Solo Leveling and ask them about the show, they just tell you about the fights. And those are well animated and they are plentiful. But Jin Woo as a character, like he's basically Superman. He has no weaknesses. He's 10 levels above the highest ranked hunters in the show. The hunters that are supposed to be the most powerful are just basically there for fodder. Especially in that last episode, the season finale, they basically get obliterated by one creature, and he just comes in and basically acts like it's nothing to him to beat this creature. And it's kind of one of those things that I kind of just got to the point where I'm just like, I don't really particularly like the character because he has no flaws and he's too perfect. And I've kind of had peeked ahead to see where the manga is going, and at one point in time, he's pretty much going to be a god at the end of the series. Because if I remember correct, when I watched the video, I'm not going. Well, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody else who may not have read it.
Yeah, it's sorry, I was looking up something about it. Yeah,
I know,
it's
but Freeland, like that, I guess maybe because I'm older and I kind of when I watch Freeland, it kind of really hits me because she didn't take the time enough with her original party to kind of just enjoy the time that she was with them. Because if you don't know, she's an elf, so she lives for thousands of years. So to her, 10 years with them was like only like an hour of her lifespan.
she's
And
2,000 years old, I believe, when we meet up with her at the beginning of the series. If I'm not mistaken.
hmm and you can definitely tell like, cause once they decide to basically break the party up and meet again in 50 years, and then she comes back and they're all old and she's watching like all her closest friends die and there's nothing she can do, and she finally realized she should have enjoyed the time she had with them because unlike her, we don't live that long. Like the only one that's still alive, I believe, is the dwarf,
Yep,
and I think he doesn't even live that long. I think dwarves they live only like maybe like a couple hundred years
I think
in
so.
this universe. But it's just it was just a way better story, and I was more connected to her story than I was Solo Leveling Jinwoo's story. I think the only thing that hurt Free Ren is that the year it should have won in the 2024 Anime Awards, it still was. I think it was only halfway finished, so it didn't qualify.
Yep, because it sort of started late in the year, finished up early.
But to me, the fact that Solo Leveling ran away with like I believe like 9 awards
Let's see
was
here.
ridiculous.
One, two. Let's see. Anime of the year, best series. Mm, best action,
Well, I would give it that.
best main character.
No,
The fight scenes are phenomenal and everything, but a little too flashy for my take. Best score, I don't know about that now.
no. The only song you hear is that one song that they play at the end.
Best ending sequence, don't know about that. And then 3 voice actors:
I don't
Castilian,
know why.
Spanish, English, and then Brazilian Portuguese. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's like they were just like, are they just giving awards because the show is popular? Because I'll be honest with you, I thought Dan to Dan was a better show than Solo Leveling.
A Dan to Dan. Oh man, I love that so much. That's such a goofy,
I
such
didn't
a
see, like I
goofy
said,
show. It's so
I'm
fun.
like, and the fact that Kaiju number 8 didn't win anything but one thing: best
Yeah.
comedy, the was it Might and Muscle.
Oh yeah. I need to sit here and watch this. This is
It's
on
actually
my
it's actually pretty good. It's a funny,
what
like
here.
it's a good like Harry Potter style,
I love its
like a
opening
Harry Potter comedy.
theme. I love its opening theme. It's by Creepy Nut that does the Dan to Dan opening too. I was like, I love it. I'm done. I'm in. So I'm probably gonna watch
Now
that on the.
I can't say about Blue Box. I haven't watched that.
That's when I'm not there. There are so many new releases.
It's
It's hard to
saying
keep up with
saying best
them.
romance, so I might end up watching it because
Let me
I've been on a romance kick lately.
let me know how that goes. Spy
Like I said,
Family, I gotta catch up on.
yeah, and film of the year, Look Back. I never heard of it until the Anime Award, so that's something I have to check out.
Yeah, it's a one shot comic, so it's only about an hour. So I'll look it up and see.
Now
But as
this
far as
one,
like,
the two, I was kind of irritated with too. I was like, this should never have been there. It's just there because it's Demon Slayer. The best animation.
okay, I'm t- as much as I want to agree, I have to disagree. The animation budget for that damn show is
No, I'm talking. It's
ridiculous.
that's for the Hashira training arc.
Oh, now that I read that, you're right. Okay, that's annoying. Okay, well, okay. That last episode though, we they put a lot of budget into that, so that I'm willing to forgive the shenanigans.
But did they just win because of that one episode that where the Muzan shows up and they blow up the castle and then everybody gets sucked down into the Infinity Castle?
I want to say, yeah, the last like 2 episodes, I think kind of really did it. As
Because we
goofy
already
as
know. Because you already know it's going to be 3 years of Demon Slayer movies.
no, it's only going to be like a year and a half actually.
So they're releasing them almost like what 6 months apart.
It's going to be depending on how long, because the Infinity Castle releases in September of this year. Double check real fast.
The first half. Because it's supposed to be 3 movies to basically wrap the series up.
Let's see here. If I can learn how to spell, apparently I've discovered a Greek something. Demio. Okay, apparently I spelled the Greek name for demon. Okay, whatever. That's weird.
And with this Spy Family, really must protect at all costs award.
Yeah, I thought that was silly.
Yeah, it seemed like they kind of just making up categories just so they could have the show be a certain length.
Ah, here we go. Someone has a specific. Da 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 da. That's not what I'm looking for, you stupid thing. Oh, some of these ads drive me nuts on these sites. They wonder why people use ad blockers.
Did Jujutsu Kaisen end this year?
I think the manga did.
Or is this a side story? I think this is a separate one.
I think that might be the prequel.
Yeah. I forgot they did a prequel.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Here we go. Sorry. The Infinity Castle is going to be for the September 12th this year. The others, let's see. Yeah, this is going to be the part 1. We're going to see some insane fights in this. Because
Yeah,
basically,
I'm expecting it to basically beat the Dragon Ball Super's box office.
oh, it most surely will. I know. Well, if you're talking about like superhero, yeah, that is definitely
No,
Broly.
I'm talking about the Broly, because Broly was, I believe, either like 11 or 14 million.
I think so. I'll have to double check.
But I think Demon Slayer are gonna those movies are gonna beat it.
Speaking of, I don't want to jump off too far from there. Have you caught up with watching Go Loser Ranger?
Let me see, Go Loser Ranger.
Because season
That's the
2
one with
started.
they kind of like the black creature, but they have like white skull faces.
Yeah, they're the Putty Patrol basically.
Yeah, I watched. Well, I ain't gonna say I caught up. I watched all the way up until I guess the first season when the Blue Ranger gets beaten and killed.
Definitely watch the second season. Shit's about to kick off. I know, I'm not kidding. I went ahead and read. God, I shouldn't have done it. I stayed up for like several hours reading it last weekend. I caught up on it. It's like 175 chapters. So Go Loser Ranger is gonna, I think, end around 200. But man, you're talking about like the Super Sentai / Power Rangers formula with so many twists and turns I was not expecting for the way this story is. Ooh, so good. Anyways,
Like it feels like he's kind of like he's changing. Like he's not as gung ho about having to kill them or trying to beat them.
he is definitely one of the main character with many conflictions, and it's very interesting to see from the
Because
perspective.
wasn't it was it the Pink Ranger or the Yellow Ranger that kind of like has a thing for him? It's the yellow one, I think.
No. The yellow one's the scientist guy. The Pink Ranger, she's the one that loves her brother in an
It
unhealthy
was. Oh
obsession.
no, she's the lieutenant. I forgot. I'm thinking about the lieutenant of which one was it? Because it's been a minute since I seen the series. I kind
She,
of binge watched it.
but she is the second lieutenant that's in charge of the Yellow Ranger Corps. Yeah, she has a odd fascination with D or Fighter D, but not in like a loving concept.
Yeah, like she has ulterior motives.
Yeah.
Like she has plans of her own. She's just kind of using him to kind of facilitate them. But it's still got. I'm not even sure. I had to look at Hulu to see if they put up the new episodes. Because I still have to go back to the other one, the other Super Sentai one.
Oh, where he's trapped in a magical world or whatever.
Yeah, but still has like all his Rangers, all his Ranger powers and gadgets.
Yeah, I need to kind of catch up with that because it's kind of goofy. But anyways, let's get back on
Yes, because
subject to this.
because it was hilarious when he summoned the Megazord.
And they're like, oh my. Anyways, all right. But yes, Dan to Dan definitely had one of the best opening sequences out of
Yeah,
what has
that's
been
hands down.
released.
That I pretty much expected them to win.
That reminds me, I need to make a fan art or something since I'm finally kicking back into everything. I think I still set aside the references for that. But I saw some
One Piece
cosplay.
won.
Yeah, they won. It was a German sub voice actor. I'm just like, eh. But we can do our own awards probably at some point if you ever want to, Mr. Chris. We can set it aside for another episode.
Yeah.
Well, folks, I think that's going to be it for this one. I want to wish
Let's
y'all.
continue. Okay. Some of these, I'm going to say some of these awards, I think they just gave it to the show because it's the name of the show.
It is a possibility. These people at Crunchyroll are not the brightest bunch. But we'll save that for another discussion. Is there anything, final thoughts, Mr. Chris?
No, not right now. I got to catch up on G-Quacks. I think it's up to 7 episodes, I think, right now.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's only a 12 episode series.
Yep. They're basically doing like what they did the Witch of Mercury. But we'll see how it ends. It's definitely gotten excuse me, it's definitely gotten spicy.
I had to ask you something about it because I saw something that looked like I guess it's like a redesigned destroy gun, Psycho Gundam, I should say.
I will definitely tell you. But other than that, folks, I don't have any more to say. I wish y'all a wonderful day, night, whatever it may be.